here, yeah.
It's 902. JLEK. All right. Hopefully that fixes it. Now time. Yes. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. Views expressed in this program are those of the participant, not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM. KLK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Thursday. It's March 2nd, 2023. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is here in the studio with you, and I am joined by members of the Delta Symphony Orchestra. We have Catherine Norville, who's just going to be in the background, but we also have Mr. Limmie Pulliam. That's correct?
Correct.
And he is actually going to be doing something very unique. He's actually going to be singing opera at the 2022-2023 Classical Concert Series, and that's going to be March 19th, 2023 at 2 o'clock p.m. at the Fowler Center in A-State, Jonesboro. Tickets are between $20 and $30, and you can get them at Delta Symphony Orchestra.tickets. And, of course, look at the sponsor here, More Media, KAIT, EAB, Jonesboro A&P, Jonesboro Occasions, Kavanaugh, The Gardens, First Community Bank, Jonesboro Radio Group, and the Arkansas Arts Council. So, Limmie, welcome to the program. Just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and your background to start us off.
Well, thanks so much for having me, and it's a great honor for me to be coming to perform with the Delta Symphony, as this is sort of a homecoming for me, in that I grew up and live still currently here in Kennett, Missouri, and so this is sort of a home regional concert for me. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay, so kind of tell us a little bit about how you got involved, because again, like we was mentioning off air, it's not often that you see African American, especially African American men, get into singing opera. So I find that to just be fascinating. So kind of talk a little bit about your background, how you got involved with the opera.
Well, I was first introduced to opera via a music teacher in high school, and through the use of a cassette tape of Luciano Pavarotti, and that kind of started me on this this journey of with this love of opera, from listening to recordings of him singing Italian arias and Italian art songs. It just piqued my interest, and it wasn't until I actually saw artists that looked like me, in the form of Leontine Price and Jesse Norman, George Shirley, Simon Estes, Kathleen Battle, the great Grace Bumbry, who's also a Missouri native, that I realized that this could potentially be a career path for me. And so I began studying and went on to study at the Oberlin Conservatory of Music in Ohio, with one of the great voice teachers and pedagogues of our time, Richard Miller. And from there, I went on to begin performing in opera houses, in regional opera houses around the country, as I began to begin to build a career.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those early performances. How was the reception that you got, and what were some of the experiences that you learned as you were starting off in your opera singing career?
Well, the reception when I was hired was actually very good. It wasn't, the issues came when we had to start dealing with the issues that some people had with body image and things of that nature. So that's where the issues came in. It was never anything having to do with my voice or my ability as a performer. So that aspect, it was great. But when it came to the criticisms you received from about your body size, your body image, made things a little difficult for me. So after a couple of years of performing, I stepped away from the industry and stopped singing for about 12 years.
Okay, so what led you back? What was there something inside of you that was just burning, that just missed it? What led you back?
Not necessarily anything that missed it. It was purely coincidental. I in the years when I wasn't singing, I worked in a number of industries, security industry, owned my own firm in St. Louis. I also did some work in politics and was hired as a member of the Missouri leg of Barack Obama's first campaign in 2008, and was working as a field organizer for his campaign here in Missouri. And it was in the planning of some events in my duties that um, I had to sing the national anthem because the person I'd asked to do it decided, you know, they had cold feet and didn't want to do it in front of a crowd. And so it was in the singing of the national anthem at these local political events that sort of reignited that interest in singing. Because in singing the anthem, I heard how my voice had changed over the years and how I'd matured and taken on, a more mature tonal quality. And I wanted to see where it would lead. So once the campaign was over, I began kind of secretly studying on my own to get the voice back into performance shape. And in January of 2012, I believe it was, I stepped out again and began putting myself out there with my first competition, which took place in Memphis, Tennessee for the National Opera Association. And I'm glad to say I was fortunate enough to win that competition.
Okay, so definitely glad to have you back on the scene. So you mentioned earlier about when you started about the issues with being perceived for body shape and type. And now that you're at the level that you're at, you are able to be an example for others who may be having those doubts. So what would you just say to those who want to pursue this, but they may have some kind of hang up, whatever it is, to encourage them to push forward no matter what others may say or what, doubts that they may have?
Well, I would just, tell them to keep doing the work, to remain consistent, remain persistent. And, if you're dealing with issues of weight, you didn't likely gain the weight overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight. So, be kind with yourself, and
I like that. Be kind with yourself.
And show yourself grace in that aspect, because you, as you are right now, are more than enough and are worthy of any success that may come your way when you put in the work for it. So continue to do the work, continue to hone your craft, to continue to put yourself out there and take those risks of in this industry, you have the opportunity for a lot of people to say no to you. No is not always a bad thing. When someone says no, it doesn't necessarily mean they never want to hire you. It just means it's not your time right now. So continue to do that work. Continue to put yourself out there. Continue to take risks, and continue to do all you can to hone and perfect your craft and your instrument, and to make yourself an individual as an artist. Find out what makes you unique as an artist and turn that into a plus for yourself.
All right, so along that vein, what makes you unique as an artist?
I think one of the things that makes me unique is my versatility. I sing a lot of somewhat dramatic repertoire. Dramatic and big, meaning that they have big orchestras and require a big sound. But I also have an ability to kind of pare things down and create very intimate atmospheres for my audience with my voice, to use this full palette of vocal colors to create whatever imagery is required by the music.
Okay.
And for instance, this is We have this performance coming up with the
I
Delta
was just about to
on the
transition. I
19th,
was going to ask what
but we
kind of
also
what you're going
have,
to give them for that.
but we also have just kind of show you the versatility on March the 16th. I'm going to be doing a recital of all spirituals with my collaborator Mark Markham, which will also be taking place, I believe, at the Fowler Center on the 16th, which is basically art songs. Negro spirituals were art songs that were born during the slavery years, and I'm going to be showcasing those songs on Thursday, March the 16th. And so you're going to get both sides. You're going to get the art song aspect of what I'm capable of. So come out and join us on the 16th for that. And then on the 19th, on Sunday afternoon, I'll be performing some of opera's greatest arias with the Delta Symphony Orchestra with Dr. Neil Barty conducting. And so very much looking forward to that, in sharing some of my favorite pieces that week, whether art song or opera. So get your tickets and come out and join us.
And of course, you can get those tickets at the Delta Symphony Orchestra website, which is deltasymphonyorchestra.org/tickets, or the phone number is 870-761-8254. Again, as he just mentioned, the 16th and the 19th. So he's gonna take you to church on the 16th, and then he's gonna give you a little classical something on the 19th. So of course, I've been looking at the Facebook comments, and everybody be like, "That's all good and perfect. We want to hear him sing." So you gotta bless us just with just a little tiny sample. Just a little tiny sample. Don't give them too much. They got.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to forego that this morning. It's fairly early for me, and this is actually the first thing I've done this morning. So I haven't even had a chance to sing this morning.
You haven't warmed up yet.
Warm up the voice yet.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll let it slide this time, but. Trust me, if you come out on the 16th or the 19th, he's gonna be warmed up and ready to go.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So you mentioned earlier about having roots in this part of the community. So how does it feel to be able to come back and to perform? Kind of like in the area where it all started.
It's to me, it's more. I would say I'm more nervous about this performance than I was my debut at the Metropolitan Opera, because the audience is going to be filled with familiar faces. Some people who have known me all of my life and family members. Many people who have known me since I was a teenager, and have followed my path musically. So in a lot of ways, this is to me, this is a big ordeal to be able to come back and share with the community who has poured so much into me and has supported me so much over the years, and to be able to come back and share my experiences and things I've learned with with local music schools and music classes and students in the area. And so it's a great honor. It's just a great honor for me to have the opportunity to come home and share in this way.
We're definitely happy for you to have this opportunity. Speaking with Limmie Pulliam of the Delta Symphony Orchestra, he will be performing at the Fowler Center March 16th and March 19th. Now, I'm looking at the flyer. The March 19th show is at 2 p.m. What time is the show on the 16th?
I believe it's at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay. And of course, tickets for both of those events are at deltasymphonyorchestra.org/tickets or 870-761-8254. All right. So get ready to wind down. Is there anything else that you want to say that we may not have covered, or anything else that you would like to touch on?
No, just hope to see a lot of faces in the audience who come out and join us for what should be an enjoyable musical journey.
All right, so they want to see your face up in the place. It's the Delta Symphony Orchestra 2022-2023 season classical concert. Dr. Neil Barty, conductor, featuring Limmie Pulliam, including opera selections from Verdi, Wagner, and Puccini. Hopefully I pronounced it correct. It works by
Verdi,
Florence.
Wagner, and Puccini.
Got you. And works by Florence Price and Amy Beach. And that's March 19th, 2 p.m. at the Fowler Center. And then there's going to be another performance March 16th at 7 p.m. I don't actually have that flyer in front of me, but again, you can get all of that information on the Delta Symphony Orchestra website. Want to definitely shout out the sponsors of this event on the flyer: More Media Incorporated, KAIT, East Arkansas Broadcasters, Jonesboro A&P, Jonesboro Occasions, Kavanaugh Auto Group, The Gardens at Harmony, First Community Bank, Jonesboro Radio Group, and the Arkansas Arts Council. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Pulliam, and definitely looking forward to the great performance that we know that you're going to put out. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is KWK 102.5 FM. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and we definitely look forward to seeing you on this show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.